Where the hell is Zig? So my topic today is going to be Zig Novak because one of the most commonly asked questions of season 13 is, where the hell is Zig? First of all, I think it's really funny that nobody cared about Zig before, but now the whole Zaya thing that happened in Zombie Part 2 and all of that, everyone's like, oh my god, I love Zig so much, like, he's like my favorite character, and I'm like, you need to swerve, because you are just being a bandwagon fan, and a lot of people never cared about Zig until Ricardo's face cleared up, and I'm so sorry for mentioning that, but it's true, which is ridiculous. He was hot before, and he's hot now. Like, he's even hotter now, but that's besides the point. So, bandwagoner fans, you can just shoo, especially if you're only here for Zaya. You need to go. So, what we learned in season 12 is that Zig is poor, very, very poor compared to his friends, and he feels very shitty about this, understandably so. But this obviously means that he cannot afford the school trip to Paris. Even if they had fundraising and all of that, it still is not very plausible that he would have gotten enough money to go to Paris with the rest of the group. So now that we have that out of the way, he's still kind of missing. We're 14 episodes into season 13, and he's been in one and was only on for like 5 minutes. In those 5 minutes, we learned that Zig has become much more badass over the summer between grade 9 and grade 10, and with that, he is not necessarily dealing drugs, but he's being a drug mule. And a lot of people are saying, this isn't Zig, like, this isn't the Zig we know. They have a really big problem with him being a drug mule. And well, they're calling him a drug dealer, but he did not deal drugs. He said he knew a guy, so he was muling. But you know, a lot of people have a problem with it because they think that Zig was like this innocent little boy who did no wrong, apparently. If you think about it, we never really learned much about Zig. Outside of his relationship with Tori, all we really knew was him being poor, and that was it. You know, his best friend is Damon, who he even said was a klepto, and Damon was the one who convinced Zig to do the dine and dash with Tori. So Damon obviously has an influence over Zig, and Damon's such a shitty guy, but I love him. He has these friends outside of Tori, Tristan, and Maya. Tori moved away, and everyone else was in Paris. So Zig was kind of just left alone in Toronto over the summer. That means that he would have been able to hang out with his guys more often than he had been throughout the school year. Not only that, he's poor, and people have this really negative attitude towards the poorness and the drugs. They are, because apparently every single poor person in Degrassi history has wound up selling drugs, which I don't recall ever being true, but if you think about it, you know, that's how it is. You know, poor people do, not all of them, but most of them do get into the drug scene because, you know, it gives them money. They can mark up prices on the drugs. Oh my god, I sound so horrible right now, but I'm not promoting selling drugs, so guys, don't go do that. He even said to his mom that 1 month they could barely even cover rent. So you can tell that he's struggling a lot with the poorness. And it's not, like, obviously it's not just a little bit, like, his whole family is suffering. It isn't really that shocking that he would get into drugs to not only make himself look cooler, but to provide his mom with some money and give him some extra cash whenever. So it's not really that weird. It kind of sucks that you guys have such a big problem with it, but you know, you're just gonna have to deal, because Zig is hot. I like the leather and the haircut. Oh my god, the haircut. Zig with an uppercut, don't even talk to me. It's like the most beautiful thing, and I touched the uppercut, so it's beautiful. Oh my god, I need to stop.